Salutations and good morrow everyone, and welcome back to Anno 117 Pax Romana, where today we're going to be going through, picking up where we left off after the latest episode, taking a look at the newest campaign here in Anno 117. So, in the last episode, we finished out by going through and setting up our first plebeian residences. Now that we have these plebeian residences, though, we need to go through and start building even more. So, we need to get ourselves a villa, because at the end of the day, we are the rulers of this area, and being the ruler, we do require to have a villa. So, we are going to go through and we are going to set up our villa towards this direction. That's over here. There is an amphitheater over here they're going to want us to rebuild at some point, it sounds like. So, looks like we need to do some other things as well over here. Build the governor's villa, build a sanctuary, or build a Grammaticus. I think I'm going to lean more towards the sanctuary, but we're going to get there in just a minute. First things first, let's set up our villa. So, our villa here is going to be the governor's villa. It's quite large. This will give you +1, I think it's prestige. That's the one. It's going to give you +1 prestige to wherever it is. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build it. I'm thinking somewhere right in this area right here. Let's go ahead and rotate that guy. Whoopsie, wrong button. Get that guy rotated around. I want it facing that way. Front of the city. Very good. Eeny, meeny, miny. There it is. All right. So, with this, though, comes a wee bit of a problem.
They're ready. I dare say the beginning of a mighty legion.
Ooh, so we have some soldiers, too. That's good. But first things first, we need to fix up our labor issue. Okay, labor issue fixed. Don't know what I did, but it's now fixed. Nice. It's easier to defend than a trading post. Okay, so we wanted to build this away from the dock as well, because when you're building in free play, by the way, in sandbox mode, which I will be making a sandbox mode playthrough as well. In fact, that first episode is probably already out. It came along right alongside the first episode of the campaign. But when you go through and you do that, they tell you to build this guy away from your docks, because this is what, when people coming to invade your city, will be looking for to destroy. So you do not want it too close. So we got that guy built. Now we need to come over here and we need to look. We either need to build a Grammaticus or we can build a sanctuary. Now, in order to do that, you come over here and you have to unlock those. In order to unlock both of those, you are going to need some plebeians here. Okay, so one is going to give you belief and happiness, and one is going to give you knowledge. Now, knowledge is very, very, very powerful in this game, and we're going to talk more about it in just a little bit. But first, let's go through and let's get some bread going here. Or should we do some garum? Now, garum is a fishy condiment, sure to put a smile on people's faces. It pairs with bread, porridge, and really anything, and it gives you some income. Now, this is only going to give you 1 income and 2 population, where this one is going to give you +2 income and 1 happiness. So I'm going to go for this guy, but it's going to need salt. Now, how do we get salt? You guys guessed it, we're going to need to go through and build a salt pond. And I'm going to build my salt pond over here. I like to spread things out a wee bit if I can. This looks great so far. I'm going to drag this over like this way, maybe. I'm going to drag a road that comes across like this. Just get a little connection there. I don't like that connection. I'm going to do that. That looks better. And then finally, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to grab a warehouse. I'm going to put that guy down. Okay, so with this salt extractor, we can now get as much salt as we need. I'm also going to just run a really quick road. I'm going to run a really quick road, please. Thank you. Over here like this. That's making this guy not quite as lucrative. Ooh, actually, you know, just seeing this right now, I can tell that I'm going to need some more timber. So I'm going to go through, build this guy right here. Doesn't make sense other than unless I take this guy and connect it to the road, just like that. And now this guy can feed that timber lodge and this timber lodge, also known as a sawmill. This guy here is going to feed that one. There needs some more foresty area, but not really a whole lot I can do about that, because sadly, I have not figured out a way to increase the number of trees that they have. I think it's just their overall cultivation area. Because the road and stuff is here, there's just not enough room, as well as this. But end of the day, it's okay for right now. We're going to end up making a production island a little bit later on that will end up holding all of our different goods productions, but that is a way later in the playthrough item. Okay, so we have salt going now. The salt is going to be pushed back over there. In order to finish up the garum, we also need more sardines or cucumbers shack. We do not need sardines. We actually need mackerel. So we're going to get that guy put down. And I think one is good for now to get that guy. And this guy, it is kind of expensive. It's going to need some more plebeians in order to run. But it's going to increase happiness and stuff over here for our folks. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to put this guy down. Let's say here. Or maybe here. Let's put it here.
There is a shortage of workforce.
I'm going to throw down a road. And then I'm going to upgrade 2 more houses, maybe 3, because I need a few more plebeians. With those plebeians now, they're going to go through. It's going to get their garum watts all the way up. And then we just need to get bread going next. So in order to get bread going, I'm going to need wheat fields. I'm going to need a grain mill. Then I'm going to need a bakery. But fun thing about Anno 117 is unlike Anno 1800, where you could just put down a bakery and say, good enough. In this one, you actually need to put down a charcoal burner as well in order to produce the charcoal that this guy needs in order to make its bread. The other thing we're going to need in order to even think about making this guy is we are going to need some tiles. Now, tiles are also going to need a charcoal burner. They are going to need a tiler, and we're going to need a clay pit. Now, clay pits are fairly simple, guys. Clay pits are put onto river spots, which is pretty awesome. I'm actually going to take over this river spot right here. I think it's a good spot.
In one of your cities.
I'm going to drag this guy down right there like that so it has access to that warehouse. Then we need to get some serious building going here. Why do I say it like that? Because I'm going to upgrade all of these houses. When I upgrade all of these houses, you can see that some of them connect together into these row house type buildings, which looks really good. And then I'm going to upgrade these houses here. Once those upgrades are completed, we've run into a little bit of an issue. Our Libertas workforce is going to start reducing. And all in all, our plebeian workforce is going to increase. With that, though, our income is now going down. In fact, we're losing money once again, which is not good. I'm going to go ahead and hit that prepare to fast forward button over here while we're losing some money and while we wait for our timber to increase again. Because what needs to happen next is I need to put down some more people and some more goods so we can start making even more money. These guys here are going to get their garum soon, which will increase our income, which will make us money, which is a good thing. But we need this to actually be produced over here. What is happening with our mackerel? Our mackerel is producing at 100% now. We'll see if that's enough to keep it running. I'll say I have not optimized everything that it's going to need yet. Once we have this optimized, we should be able to actually start running this pretty efficiently right now. It's looking okay. Is it the fact that it might be that the warehouse is too far away? We'll do a little curvy road right there. That should help them get there a little bit faster. I'd also like to get some upgraded roads, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on while we work on getting these guys what they need. There we go. There's their garum. Fantastic. All right, so we still have not gotten that all the way upgraded yet and gotten the 100 plebeians that we need. We have enough to upgrade some more houses, so let's go through and let's get a couple more houses upgraded here. That's going to bring us up a little bit further, getting us ever so closer to this unlock here. We're at 97 now. If I got this bread, it would push us over, but it's just going to take a little bit to get there. So we have the clay coming in now. We have 14 on hand, which means we can start working on this. So I'm going to get a tiler put in. I'm going to put this tiler in, let's say right next to this guy. That's got a little bit of a significant fire chance. And then I'm going to put the charcoal burner. He needs to be out with trees. Really doesn't have the best for forested areas here. There we go. That's a little bit better. I'm going to put that guy down right there. Try to drag this out, connect there, drag this out this direction, and connect there. And then finally, I'm going to grab myself a little wee warehouse and put it down right there and hope that this is enough to produce enough charcoal for us to not only get the tiles, but also get our bakery as well. Because there's a couple different things we're going to need to do, but I need them tiles first. All right. While we wait for that, let's go through and let's slap one more upgrade over here onto this house here. And that should make it so we can unlock all of these new options. So let's take a look at these first. So we get the Sanctuary, a triumphal respite from the hustle and bustle. The Sanctuary opens its gate to be quietly devoted. And then the Grammatis, with the reading of poetry and philosophy, comes the real risk of becoming overly clever, which will start producing knowledge for. I am going to go down the knowledge path to get us started. It's just what I like to do. So we're going to kick off with some good old knowledge. This will also be mapped out to all of our houses over here. All of the plebeians should be able to reach this residence. Ooh, these ones cannot. Let's do this. I'm going to grab this guy. I'm going to set him up down here like so. And then I'm going to road this out this way a little bit. I'm going to grab this guy here. I'm going to put it there. And then I'm just going to take a nice road and run this across like this. By doing this, I have increased the reach of all of my buildings that I have here. Very, very, very good. All right, so I need 10 tiles. We're at 4 right now. This is going to cost me $1,000 or denarii in order to build. What is you going to produce for me again? You're going to produce income +1. But you're expensive to build. You are going to cost no people in order to run. You're a little expensive, but that's okay. But you're going to start producing knowledge, which we need dearly. I'm going to start off on some extra farms while we wait. Let's get a basic farm put down maybe right here. Giving some room in case I want another oat farm or another hemp farm. Grab this guy. Whoops. Build this guy out like something like that. Good old wheat farm. And then I also need to grab this guy, put it down there like that. That is going to be our good old grain mill. That's going to process the grain into flour, which we will end up needing. Rope that guy off. Grab a warehouse, put you there. I honestly should have put the grain field over here, now that I'm thinking about it, because I could have kept all of my bread production up in this area. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's grab this guy. Rotate him around, and I'm just going to set him down right there. There we go. That opens that spot back up. Gives us a great spot over here to get our bread production going. And then finally, because they want everything close enough to each other, I'm going to come right back over here. I'm going to grab my bread bakery, and I'm going to put this guy over here. In fact, would I like to... No, I think that over here is good. I think that over there is good. Is this going to decrease? Is that what this does? Hold on a second. Let me take a look. Up and down. So this is a down. So we don't want this near our people. So we're going to put that over there. Let's see here. I'm just going to double check this again. Area of effect +2. Income. Oh. So this actually will increase income for our people, but it increases fire risk, and that's why they're big sad. Okay. Well, I would rather get the increase to income if I can, por favor. There we go. Now, with all of that said and done, he's going to start providing bread out. This bread here will increase food for all of them, increasing our income even further. We're at plus 96. Great news. And the last thing we need to do here really quick is just go ahead and click this construct building button. Once that's built, we have unlocked research. Now, research is huge in this game.
Any specific discovery and reap the benefits.
Why do I say that?
An educator, Marcus? How commendable. My father, Servius Julius Albus, allowed me a singular privilege among women. I was schooled in Ambrosia, albeit informally.
Yes, I remember I'd wave to you during your lesson, and you'd stifle a giggle.
You think of the Greek magister's slave, a redhead prone to giggles.
The magister's slave? But why would she have been in the classroom?
To clean the floors, darling dear.
Okay, so just like that, we have a little bit of story added in, but
That was awkward.
more importantly, we now have knowledge. So let's talk about research. Okay, research here, we get this beautiful research
There are many
tree.
discoveries one can
Now,
research.
with this research tree, we can go through and select what path we want to bring our city on. We want to go down military might, civic research, or get that economy bolstered. Now, each of these have their own large trees that they can fill out, which is fantastic, may I just add. And each of these different things are going to have different things that you can research. So for instance, this is a trading post improvement. For those who remember playing any Anno game before, like Anno 1800, where you can go through and upgrade your warehouses, this is how you go through and get that upgrade done now. You need to go here, get into the trading post, and actually upgrade this guy, and it will make it so you can upgrade your trading post. You want to build depots? There you go. You want to go through and update your warehouses? That's how you do it. You want to make it so your buildings near your spinners will produce knowledge. Just like this, you get sewing circles, and now all of your buildings that are near those spinners that you built are going to build you even more knowledge. Now, I think that this is a fantastic path to follow first. This is the path that I like to follow before I start getting into doing things like paved roads and stuff like that, which I mentioned earlier, which was how we're going to increase speed. But for now, we're going to avoid going straight for paved roads. If you want to go down civics, you can do things like a quarry master. You can get yourself market forces here. You can do other things like getting wells, which will help increase fire safety, getting watchtowers, which will help watch out to make sure that your streets are protected, things like that. Getting yourself a night watch. All of those things are going to help the civic side of your city. Or you can say, screw my civilians, I want to go through and get some military and start building out slingers and then protective and things like that, armor smithing, all these different things that are required for military might. But for me, I'm going to kick off over here and I'm going to head for this. So let's start off by doing this guy right here, trading post improvement. Then I'm going to go over there and do that guy. Then I think going to number 3 for depots, and then finally, what is this one again? This is replanting. Can use meadows. Charcoal burners can do that. So let's do that guy after we've done these. I think I need to do this one as well in order to unlock that guy. But for now, we're going to leave that there. And we need to listen to Lucius. He has a request for us.
Lucius, I know how incredibly busy you must feel, but my divine Julia's birthday approaches and nothing is in place. No garum, for example. Imagine, banquets without garum are as reeds without sound. No, we must have our garum. You will supply it. Governor, a sample of the first fruit of Juliana for my senator friends. The ripest and most pungent on offer.
The garum will be delivered to Villa Augusta before you know it, Emperor.
Oh, and another thing, Marcius. The decorative drapes. Julia adores a birthday drape. And don't we all?
I don't currently have any drape productions, Emperor.
No, and I wouldn't expect you to. No, these drapes could only have been woven by the wonderful women of Lily Bayonne. Go introduce yourself to Valeria. She'll have them and more.
Oh, very good. Okay, so we have to produce the wonderful garum. We need to build 3 garum works, in order to supply what is required. And we also need to build another succumber shack. So I'm going to go back home really quick. White screen. All right, there we go. Back home. Find our wonderful city that we've been building, which is over here. Turn ourselves back around so we're facing the right way. Let's get another one of these guys because it has requested it. And then we're going to need 2 more garum works. So I'm going to put this guy maybe up here and right here. Get both of those put in. See how we're doing here really quick. Anything that's missing? No, nothing that is missing. We're actually looking great right now. So let's do this. Let's get another set of Libertas residences over here. I'm going to take a run of road, put that down. Take another run of road, put that down over here. Connect up. I'm just going to run a road behind like that if I can. Build my road back out here because, of course, I put the road down in the wrong spot. Like that. Road you over there. And then just grab myself some really quick residences and run those back like that. Got to keep our plebeians happy. I'm also going to increase our workforce here by going like this, getting some more plebeians. And thankfully, with these new Libertas workplaces that I put in, we should be able to have enough people. Our income, our balance is going to increase. These guys require more goods. Thankfully, we're already working on that. And how goes our research right now? Our knowledge is actually going fairly smoothly. So we're going to get that done here. We're going to wait for that to finish. We're going to prepare to fast forward while we do that. And we are going to look into doing a sanctuary. Now, this sanctuary is another very important building. So let's get that guy built. And we could talk more about this. So we have to choose a patron god. Now, choosing a patron god is quite important. So let's talk about who we want to have as our patron god. We start off with the ability, I believe, of 3. So we either have Mars, who is, well, you know it, the god of war.
Request from the Emperor. He will not wait forever for your answer.
Okay. We can go down and we can select Neptune, who provides more production for sardines, garum, mussels, things like that. Or we can go here, which is the one that I'm going to lean for, which is Ceres. So she's the mother of the fields. I'm going to go ahead and set that as a patron.
Your people will delight in lighting their lamps for.
Now, this is the patron god of this island. My global patron gods, this is the information that I have on them. When you start getting your global patriotism up, you start to unlock more things. There's so many unlocks in this game, guys. It's ridiculous. Okay, whoa, pause my game. Request from the Emperor. So he's demanding part of 5,000 denarii, possible in order to cover the cost of Julius's lavish birthday legally. There's no reason why you can't simply refuse, but then he is the Emperor. Do you pay him? I'm going to go ahead and pay him. I want to make sure that he's not mad at me, so I went ahead and gave him the 5,000. We can make our money back.
Was that normal? That the Emperor asked for money on such short notice?
Okay, so the next thing we need to do, guys, is we need to click on our wonderful boat here, and we need to head this way. We need to go down and meet the wonderful ladies of Lilybien, where there we will get ourselves some wonderful things, including people or goods. But I think we also need to go get awnings and drapes. Wonder how expensive those are going to be. But thankfully, I'm making money, so all will be fine. Speaking of making money, let's go back home and let's check on our people because we've unlocked the next thing for our plebeians, which is going to be soap and sandals. So sandals will give you +2 health, and very good. And then the sandals will give you +2 income and population. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept that. We have an interaction that's required over here. Would you like, I would like those awnings and drapes. Thank you. Now these,
governors had time to be such trustworthy couriers.
now these I need to bring up over here for our good friend, the Emperor. So we're gonna send that up there. And we will wait to see what they have to say about us delivering those drapes. Now, guys, I think that I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here. We've made some great progress. I need to let the game run a little bit so we can start getting some of these knowledge points knocked out and we can get some of our research that we want to get done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the game run. I'm going to get this knowledge done and this knowledge done. Once those are done, we'll kick off with episode 3, where we will go through and see what we can do about getting our people upgraded even more. But for now, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching this one. If you liked it, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.